Here's our human and chimpanzee primer. I believe these both also come from the Grade A Genomes paper. And you can see that we've got a lot of stuff ending up where it ostensibly shouldn't be. But more than that, we have a whole lot of reverse alignments. So things that have sort of inverted in on themselves. And then I want you to compare that to this. This is the rat versus the mouse, right? We're looking at a rat here on the top, the Norwegian rat, and a house mouse here on the bottom.
Yep.
And I hope you can see visually now just how much more different rats are to mice as compared to humans and chimpanzees. Not only do they have a lot of sequence identity differences, right, like a greater amount than humans do to chimpanzees, but their genome is like completely scrambled compared to one another. Everything is seemingly in the wrong place. There are all of these massive inversions. And like most creationists would tell you that these two are related by genetics and by morphology, but that these two are not, and obviously so. I hope you can see that that's stupid and dumb. But
Erika, I think you know, it's interesting that you bring this example up particularly, because I think you know something about animals. I think you know that mice and rats, that they have a different generation time than humans and chimpanzees, right? Humans have a generation time of something just roughly around 25 years. But is that the case for mice and rats? The generation time for especially mice and also rats is much shorter. So they're producing offspring, like instead of years, they are counting it in months, in actually much fewer months than humans are counting the years as well. So it's actually up to over 100 times shorter generation time. And you probably also know that it's during each generation that you often have these crossing over events and chromosomal restructuring events. That means that this is exactly what we would expect, or this is nothing extraordinary or surprising in any way, because they will have just a lot more generations in the same time frame, and that will mean a lot more chromosomal restructuring, at least some 100 times more or something like that. And it's actually known also that the rat and mice genomes are very prone to restructuring because of very active transposable elements and things like that. And I don't think this is unknown to you, Erika, so I'm a little bit surprised that you bring up this example actually.